Waska, my name is Worlasi. I'm from Ghana, West Africa. Precisely Accra. I grew up in Accra, and I'm from the Volta region in Ghana. Today we are going to talk about therapy. So the reason behind therapy, I'm a creative person. I consider myself as a creative person, and anything that comes in between me, myself, and creativity becomes a problem. It hinders my process and it makes it difficult for me to easily create. I consider this project as a blueprint for all creatives to break away from a creative blockage. I would say the two main things are social construct and my own construct. And these two things are the basis of all the problems of a creative person. To me, this is mainly based on societal acceptance and what's in vogue or what society has perceived or constructed. It's not based on the objective of an individual or the reality, the objective reality. It's not based on that, and so that's what social construct is. So, for example, if you are creating a project, you are working on a project, and then this project is based on something that is a reality to you and to other people and everybody. You know, it's an objectified reality, and for you and for other people. And then you realize that what's in vogue is different, and so now what you are creating and what's in vogue becomes a conflict, and so you feel like you cannot release it. That becomes a creative blockage, and that's an example of social construct and how it can affect your creative blockage. The second one is the self construct, which is you yourself creating a construct for yourself that you can reach or cannot reach, or you don't have to reach, because you never know what is very good for you or what is worth it for you. But because you've created a certain construct, you are forced to attain that construct, and it stops you from either releasing your projects or creating from your heart or from your mind or creating up from how you feel to creating for that self-constructed entity of success or prestige or whatever it is. In all these constructs, there are goods and bad sides of it, but the focus of this album is how it affects your creativity or how it blocks it. So once it's blocking it, then it's not good for you. It could be helping somebody else, but for you, if it's blocking yours, then it's not good for you. So that's what this album is about: creative blockages and how you can separate it from who you are so it doesn't affect you physically, mentally, or spiritually if you're a spiritual person. The reason why I made this project is for creative blockage. Why creative blockage? Because creativity is extremely important for me. Creativity has gotten me almost everything that I need. There are satisfactions in me creating, and there's a lot, but I'm going to focus on only 5 right now. The first one is satisfaction when I listen to my own project. I feel good when I listen to my project. It puts me in a space of fulfillment. You know, I feel fulfilled looking at my work when it's done. When I look at how I wrote it, how somebody supported me with it and it becomes perfect, how David Hammond plays his beats, how Senku plays his beats, how Dramo plays his beats. There's just this beauty in enjoying the satisfaction after the creative process. That's one. 2, seeing how people enjoy it. The third one is hoping that it lasts forever, like timeless. You know, like even for years to come, you still see people saying, this thing is amazing, I like this. Fourth thing is when it is recognized by entities like, you know, music awards, video awards, Grammys, and all these things, and Oscars, and depending on where the music goes, right? All these things, and then the fifth one is money. It brings you money, in a sense, wealth and money, which is people book you for shows, people ask you to do things for them, and then you get paid. You produce for people, you get money. You meet people who are very wealthy or very endowed in certain things, or people who are well connected. That's also wealth. And so these are the 5 things that creativity brings me, and I think I do not want to let it go. And so if there's anything that comes between me and creativity, it becomes a problem. And that is why this project is extremely important for me and every creative out there. It was a blueprint for me. I had to take my time to fully dissect it and make it into something that is going to help me understand what I'm going through when my creativity is blocked. Creative blockages. I can't even stress on how bad this is. It's extremely bad for an artist because you're stuck in a place where you can't go back because you don't like what you've created, and you can't go forward because you don't like what you've created. So you can't release it. You can't let it go. You can't let anybody see it. Because you think it's not perfect enough, you can't let anybody hear it. But it's when it goes out, it's where or when you actually feel free to create something else. The whole point of taking away or eliminating creative blockage is to be free. As an artist, you should be free. Nothing should hold you back. Not the social construct, not your own construct, none of these two. You should be free. So anything that comes in between you and creating or letting the creativity go out, it becomes a problem. And once it becomes a problem for you, it becomes a problem for everybody around you. You realize that you are not happy. Everything is annoying to you. People around you are, any little thing you become agitated. And I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I have a lot of friends who are also going through the same thing. And that's why I think I'm bold enough to say this has happened to a lot of creatives as well. Now let's go into the project. So the lyrical aspect of this project is, it is built around the concept of the yin yang, good, bad. Everything that is a problem could also be an advantage or could be advantageous to you at a certain point, And so I had to dissect it in both ways so I can see it from all perspectives and see why it's even existing in the first place. Maybe it's supposed to be there to help you do something, but it shouldn't be there for too long, so you can move on to the next thing. Perfection is a different thing altogether. You are only using perfection at a certain point to create something. And so you are taking it out of yourself, looking at it as an entity and asking yourself, why is perfection making you not create? Why is it letting you create to this level that people are saying, wow, you are doing so well, this is amazing. So at that point, the healthy aspect of this exercise is for you to see it from a different perspective so that you don't harm yourself, but you realize that you are not the problem. The problem is that entity or that behavior of being a perfectionist that is harming you. At the same time, this behavior of being a perfectionist has also made you achieve things or attain certain levels of creativity or whatever it is you find yourself in, so much that you cannot let it go as well. So the whole point of this is to see the separation and also make sure it does not creatively block you from continuing your creative process. That's why perfection was made. These are things that affect everybody or everyone just harbors once in a while in their lives. And if we don't learn how to separate them, it is going to affect us mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. Perfection, the first half is talking about how it's helping me as a creative, how it's making me dope, how it's letting me achieve certain things. And then the second part is literally talking about me myself looking at perfection as an entity and saying, I do not want this anymore. You are disturbing me. Because of you, I can't finish my project. Because of you, I can't do this. And it's a very healthy way of expressing your thoughts on things that you have problems with. And I think it really helped. And once in a while, I listen to it. And like I said, this project is a blueprint for all creative, like all creative people out there, and it will help you understand the difference between what you are and what you are harboring into yourself to be. That way, you cannot harm yourself, but you can just face the behavior that you are harboring at that very moment. Lucy. So Lucy is in between both a social construct and a self-construct. It is basically me fighting all the ideas that are considered immoral in our society. Drinking, smoking, sex, lies, all these things that we consider immoral in our society are things that we once in a while do. And so once you find yourself in a space where your mind has been trained to believe that it's a bad thing, you also grow up feeling like this is something I shouldn't be doing. So if it's a choice that you know that you don't want to be doing it, it becomes a problem because you start harming yourself and looking down upon yourself and saying, I shouldn't be doing this, I feel bad about doing this, I should not be doing this. And this construct is something that we need to also face, and so we have to take it out and put it aside. And so I put it aside and I called it Lucy because that's what our society calls it. It's the devil's doing. It's the devil's doing. And so I use that concept of the devil's doing to formulate the idea of immorality and pin it down all on Lucy. Okay, I'm doing this, fine, I'm doing it, but do I want to continue doing it? No, I don't want to. If you want to do it, sometimes you do it, sometimes. It doesn't matter what you choose to do, but you just need to separate it from who you are and what you are creating when you have to. And even if you want to create based on that, you still have to make sure that you are not at the end making it what you are entirely, because you can be anything you want. Once it's affecting your creative process, you need to step back and look at it as a different entity, and this entity is what I perceived or called Lucy. So you realize the first part of it is the entity, which is Lucy, talking about who he or she is and what they are doing, and the second part is me also bantering or countering what he or she is saying. All right, jealousy. Jealousy is aligned to a social construct and a self-construct as well. Social construct is when we always look at what people have and we have that fear of missing out. You're always online looking at things, what people are doing, and you're asking yourself, why am I not doing this? I think I'm behind. I'm not doing this. I have to be here too. I have to also achieve this. I have to get this. As a musician, I want to be on Jimmy Fallon show. I want to be getting awards, billboards. I want to, be on the Billboard chart. I want to be on MTV. I want to be on the Grammys. I want some of my music to be used for movies that are getting Oscars. These are all social constructs of success or winners in our society. I want my name to be on the Hollywood Hall of Fame. And these are the things are the social construct that I see in people that I want to attain. And these constructs are very huge in my eye as a creative, and so it makes it difficult and it weighs me down, and it makes my creative process also extremely difficult because I'm always trying to attain a certain level of creativity that either brings me back or takes me up, whichever way. The other thing about jealousy also is the idea of having what somebody has. It's not jealousy, it's just a goal. And so I had to separate the idea of what jealousy is, because in my society, if you want to achieve something that somebody has achieved and you feel like it's something that you can do or you wish to do in your own way, it is attained as something bad or evil because you are jealous of the person. I had to separate that concept and take it out because I had to unlearn that and understand that it's not jealousy if you want to attain something. If somebody buys um, a Tesla or a Benz or whatever, and you want to buy the same thing, you're trying to buy the car, not the person or the idea of the person buying it. You have your own reasons of buying it. But because of that idea, you tend to say, no, I don't want to buy this car because this guy has it. And I don't want it to look like I'm jealous of the person. No. So me writing jealousy also makes me separate the concept of what we acknowledge as jealousy and associate it with goal. It's my goal. I have a goal and I want to attain this. If somebody else has it, it's fine. But this is my goal and this is what I want to attain. And we are different people, so no matter how I create, it's going to turn out different. No matter what I achieve, mine is always going to be a little bit different, no matter what. And so writing jealousy made me understand the process of unlearning this idea and getting things that I want without feeling bad because of my social construct of what jealousy is. And I think that really helped. Production wise, we made the beginning Amapiano and the end rap because it was talking about me producing things for people, which is the social construct, and Amapiano was, trending or is trending at that moment or at this moment. And so it's we had to separate the two and make. I had to feel like I can do both and still be free because it's what I've been doing my whole life in my music career. Like I think I've been able to do what the people want and do what I want at the same time. And I just wanted to prove that to myself in a song, which I did, and I really liked it. I think it's one of the most interesting songs I've ever done in a while because it's three different beats in one song, and I think it's most people's favorites. Who the fuck is basically me identifying all the people that I've met in my life, still meeting or will be meeting in my life, that have oppressed me in a certain way with their affiliations, with their positions, or with their relationship with me. As a person, as a creative, generally you meet people that will always use what they are and who they are and how you feel about them to their advantage to oppress you. And that anger and that feeling of not being able to do anything about it stressed me out, and it made me feel like, why can't I retaliate, and that it hurts me so much. And this could come from anybody. That's why it was the very ones that I thought were very intense for me, which is the first one is the construct of God and who God is and the power He has over you and how He can probably oppress some of the things, take some things away from you, give you some things, put you in places that you can't play, you can't be. That concept of God and what He is and what He's provided to you and all that. You can't get back at God. Obviously you can't get back at God. And then you have your parents, because they are your parents. They tell you what to do, they tell you what to be, because you can't get back at them. It gives you feel so much anger, and frustration, and so it occupies your mind, and you can't be free to create or do anything. You can use that to create and write something about it, but at the end of the day, it's still there, and then that for you as a creative person. We have spouses, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is you find yourself into. They also have a relationship with you, and because of that relationship, they can use it against you, and maybe they are not using it against you, but you feel they are using it against you to oppress you and make you feel that you don't. And because you care about them too, you cannot get back at them, and that becomes also another frustration, and it also comes into creative blockages. Ghana police, they are trying to protect us, but at the same time, sometimes it's very frustrating. That's why I picked each and every person, or yeah, each and every person in my life or in my past, or is going to be in my life. And I feel like these things are things that happen or occur to be occurring in everybody's life, especially. And once we feel emotional about it, it affects us in a certain way. And so it's a bit confusing if you listen to it the first time, but you would realize that it is literally picking out all these characters and speaking from the character's perspective. The reason why I am not speaking from my perspective is because I'm angry. So if I do, I might not be right. But when I speak from their perspective, then I can understand why they are also being like that, or why I think this person, me, why they're using their power or their relationship with me to oppress me. And so that's why I sang or rapped or wrote from their perspective. This song is being animated by Johan, and so it's going to be out soon. Future self is basically, it's self-explanatory, like myself in the future. It's me looking at me in a different mirror and saying, okay, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to attain. And I like the beginning because I'm literally telling myself I'm comparing what I have and what you're supposed to give me, and it's not the same. You're not giving me what I want. I need more. I need more. I want more, and I need more. Because I'm looking at my future self and what I'm getting now, and it does not look like I'm getting it. And I'm comparing all that you got me and what's I need more, and I think I like how passionate that part is, because I was very emotional writing the very first part of it. It was supposed to be all singing, but I had to. There was so much I had to let out. I had to start rapping so I can write. I can let all of it out in one song. When I'm gone, simple and short. I don't want anybody to tell people who Worlasi is. I want Worlasi to tell people who Worlasi is. It's as simple as that. I want to say things that I want people to know me for. And obviously, I'm going to do things that I might not even know I am, and so it's going to be said by other people, but there are certain things that I want to be very clear. What people have to know when you're gone, the light that comes after the death, like what people will love about you when you're gone, and you have to state it or be it at that moment. Fast. I still they let my guy I finish my school. My boys the end where they never enter school. Be like I make them but I don't make them too. Wait who they fucking call and no go pay to. My talent like who I'm. Grown man like you still don't have your own land. Grown man.